Hello, welcome to Kala Cassette, a podcast that brings to you fresh voices of art and culture. This is our first episode of Side B, a segment where we set foot into discourse about various abstract and cultural phenomena. You will hear from the team of Kala Cassette about their contrasting views and opinions. Music is ingrained in our daily lives. It provides a buffer against everyday monotony. It creates rhythms for our emotions and lyrics that are embedded in our heart. We often find our favorite music to be trending on social media, or it is through social media that we come across our favorite new picks. Today, we're going to discuss the relationship between music trends and social media. To begin our discussion, we'll tell you why we chose to title this video The Taylor Swift Effect.
So we have used Taylor Swift effect as an analogy to explain how we perceive the particular artist and based on the number of hits and the people that listen to him or her. Yeah.
So we currently know that Taylor Swift is on tour, a worldwide tour, and it's trending all over social media. Everything related to the tour, as well as we see a lot of social media posts about what the fans are currently feeling like because she's on tour. So talking about fans of Taylor Swift, there are total two sides, right? Two sides to a coin, and as we know that fans can help an artist to build their career as well as degrade their career as well. So we generalize people who listen to Taylor Swift that they're like the basic 13-year-old teenagers who are all hyped up about her music and her life. But we have seen her career grow through ages, but it's the fans that bring her a lot of hate as well because of how they act. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, that is what we develop like certain prejudices about the artist herself or himself based on what the fans are doing. There are certain instances where the crowd or the fan base goes frenzy and they start doing certain activities, or they do shit that is very aggressive, or it is very not like it's not it's very aggressive and outgoing, and that is why we perceive the fan, like the artist, to be um very so we put a lot of hatred into for the artist because of what the fans are doing. The artist cannot control whatever the fans do for them. So this is also in the case of K-pop. It gets a lot of hate, especially in India, because of the fan base, because of unnecessary prejudice associated with them. And yeah, and also one thing, of course, like to make a artist famous, their fans have a very influential aspect in that. But to judge a artist based on their fan base and how they're reacting is very wrong.
I think also, there's also this trend of like the minute there are young teen girls attached to the fan base, it somehow loses credibility. The artist loses credibility, which is so wrong. It has happened with so many boy bands and bands in general, that the minute the fan base starts leaning towards young females, people are like, okay, we do not trust their taste, and hence the artist is then like, okay, we're just not gonna listen to them because you know this is not good music. This is the kind of music that only young girls listen to. But people have their own preferences, and it's none of your business to judge those.
I would like to give an example for this for like Indian context, that is Char Diwali. I feel like a lot of um his fans are girls mostly, and especially like younger girls. So he gets hate for that even though his music is like very well thought and it's like pretty good. It's like experimental and everything, but like because of his fan base, people have just stopped like averted themselves from that particular artist. So yeah.
I also feel that whenever an artist get like a female fan base, particularly the males, and especially in our country, they go wild and they do not want to accept the artist even if the music is good. I do not know what do they have against us. They just do not want to accept it, and they do not want to accept the artist as well. They're not ready to just accept the fact that an artist is getting so much of female fan base, and they put necessary unnecessary hate behind that artist, and that is very wrong.
I agree, and actually, this brings me to the overrated music wala topic, because okay, as we know, she talked about Char Diwali, so I got reminded of how Seethe Moth's new album is blowing up. They're on tour right now and everything. So about that, so I've been listening to See Them Out for quite a while now, right? And I enjoy their music genuinely. So after their new album blew up, people were like, "Acha, you're like the social media fan who listen to the artist through reels and TikTok." I mean, do you genuinely like the artist that you don't want their music to blow up and reach a new audience? Because the gatekeep culture is like, in my opinion, it's dumb. Do you actually genuinely want to support the artist, or just do you want to keep the artist for yourself? Because that's not going to do any good to the artist, especially in Indian music industry context, because you know how corrupted it is.
When we talk about like overrated music, it's very important to know that that music is overrated for a reason, because it is good. It has so many people rooting for it essentially, and it is difficult to like rally together so many people's very different preferences. So when you have a piece of art that has so many people supporting it, that's actually very good. So I don't really know, like, the hate doesn't behind overrated music is just very, it doesn't make sense. And I kind of understand gatekeeping culture, because it's the essence of, I discovered this song at a particular moment in my life, and I have a certain memory attached to it. I have a certain experience attached to it, and I would like to keep that for myself. And so people, I mean, definitely gatekeeping is like, yes, you're just keeping it for yourself, but at the same time, I kind of get it.
But I feel if you have an attached memory to that song or a particular artist, if the artist or the song blows up, you still have that memory. You can still have that attachment towards the artist, and it doesn't need to be associated with the artist or the song blowing up. So, like, I can still share my songs, my playlist, or my artist to someone else while keeping the memories of the artist with me. So I think, I mean, I get it, I get your point, but like, I just feel that the gatekeeping culture is bad. It's just, it shouldn't happen.
And
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I do agree. And talking about overrated music, it's fine if a song blows up. It's like perfect for the artist as well, because it gives them recognition and everything. But people who hate overrated music are the type of people who actually hinder the artist's career. You enjoyed their music before it blew up, and you don't enjoy it because a lot of people started listening to it. The song is the same, the lyrics are the same, the tune is the same, the artist is the same. Then why the unnecessary hate? Is it because of the fans that are listening to the music? Or I don't know, it's just dumb and confusing.
I feel like you get judged for it, because, like, if I listen to See Them Out, I don't look like I listen to See Them Out for some people, and they just assume that I started listening to them because of them blowing up, and which is completely fine. I get it, you know. I still enjoy their music, and if I want to get into it, I will listen to their other albums that happened before the Lunch Break album, and I will still enjoy it. It doesn't matter. Even if I found it later in my life, I can still form memories with that particular artist.
Yeah, for example, so I also listened to See Them Out, and my journey started as, so I went to the concert and I knew only like a very few songs and very few popular songs. So I'd listened to them and I really liked it, and I was like, let's explore the artist. But I went to the concert before I had like explored the whole
Discography.
discography. Yeah, that. and but people judge me for that because they're like, you listen to only their popular songs, you listen to only their songs which have blew up on the internet, or their overrated songs. You are not a true fan because you do not listen to their less popular or underrated songs. So you're not a true fan of that artist because you do not listen to their underrated or less publicized songs, but you only listen to, for example, Luka Chupi or Khata Flow. I love that song. You cannot judge me for loving that song.
Like average Luka Chupi fan, average Seedhe Maut fan, girl
And-
Seedhe Maut fan.
Yeah, they always attach the, Seedhe Moth fan girl. I mean,
Fangirl,
okay,
yeah.
I am a female and I listen to Seedhe Moth. Is that a new thing? I don't know why.
Like they start forming an image in their mind when they think of a particular artist. For like, if you think of, for example, Seedhe Maut, we think of like guys who like abuse a lot, who go to the gym, who go to the gym, and who are like built, who listen to it, know all of the lyrics. Also, on this point, you don't need to know all of the lyrics. I fuck. Okay, I shouldn't abuse, but I cannot sing any of their lyrics, but I love their music. I wish I could, but I can't. It's okay just to enjoy the music and we just sit quietly and listen to it without actually the sing.
Since we're talking about overrated music, let's discuss artists making music for social media. So, them realizing that this particular song has done very well on TikTok or Instagram, and then their entire discography just deviates to
Doja
music.
Cat, Dua Lipa. So yeah, of course, Doja Cat, her Planet Her. The album is whole. It's just for the commercial gains. It's just for TikTok music. Every song in that album blew up on TikTok during the COVID time. Every song, and because of that, I know each of the lyrics. Okay, and I'm not complaining. I love her songs, I love her music, but when the artist continues to make that song, make albums and songs only for commercial gain, it has a repetitive and redundant tune and music, which is because, yeah, of course they have to make music for to cater to the TikTok crowd and to cater to the TikTok music, but it becomes so redundant and becomes so repetitive that you lose interest in that artist, and I no longer listen to Doja Cat, and that is sad.
And okay, so if we're talking about social media engagement, we also know that negative engagement is also an engagement, right? I don't know why Eminem is trying so hard to get cancelled right now,
Houdini.
just to get, some validity into the music industry again. You cater to a specific audience, the millennials as we say, but a lot of, Gen Z crowd also listen to Eminem's old songs because of course it's a classic.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know why he's just trying so hard to push it out there, just, cancel me. I don't know why he's dissing a whole generation in his new songs. For some reason it's just, I feel sorry.
I mean, a lot of his songs were diss tracks.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to his songs and like most of them are like kind of diss tracks. So I feel like that like drives him to make music. So
Does he not have like things to diss about anymore? So he's just generalizing.
he's kind of old now. So I feel like he needs no shade. Old people can make music as well. Great music. Slim Shady.
Katy Perry, guys.
The rebrand is bad.
Exactly. I appreciate her for coming back into the music industry after such a long break. But woman, please, please,
I want to share something.
go ahead. यही तो करने आए हैं पॉडकास्ट पे.
But okay, so I saw this reel on Insta where she was like signing like posters for her album. And she just like she was sitting on a table and she just passed the poster to a kid, let her hold a pen and just scribble on her face and just pass it ahead and give it to the fans.
I get it. You have You have had an emotional or whatever thing with the poster, but I don't think the fans wanted to.
Like I read the comments being like, I don't want a child scribbling on my fucking poster.
You may have loved kids.
I think that's a different conversation.
Let's come back.
Yeah. So we're talking about artists making music for social media. But another point that we do need to keep in mind in this conversation is that at the end of the day, they need to earn money through this music. And making music for social media is a very easy way to do that, because you know that the song is going to do well, it's gonna get plays, and it's going to get them money. So while it does, on the other end, like, not use music as an art form, because then the artist is not exploring music to, you know, divulge into their emotions and feelings and experiences. It is also a necessary, somewhat necessary way to earn money at a time when art is not given so much importance.
But I feel like a lot of artists have blown up randomly without like, कैसे बोलते हैं, they just made songs that just blew up, but like overnight. Jhag, yeah, I was gonna give that example, but I keep bringing up Chadiwani into this conversation. But yeah, now he has built a fan base who liked his music, and they will listen to his newer release. So I feel like he does not have to compromise his art form to just make like TikTok music. He can just make music, and it just blows up because how good it is. Yeah.
And also, if we talk about independent music in the Indian scenario, let's talk about the local train. Oh my god, I feel so sad talking about it, but their songs Chulo or Alas Ka Pet, basically the album in general, blew up after such a long time. And I love that they're getting the recognition that they deserve. And I also feel like social media is a great tool, and it gives motivation for the to the artist as well to make more music. But now recently, Akshat's song, that Nadanya, blew up. People were eating it up, like they were loving the song until people started making reels about it. I don't know why. The song sounds the same to me still, but it just got a lot of hate. Although that music was, made specifically to describe his relationship with his girlfriend. But I don't know, it just started getting unnecessary hate because it became trending. So I also, I agree that artists should put out music on social media, because that's how we can, reach a wider audience. Because Indian music industry, and it's very difficult for independent Indian artists to earn money through just making music.
But I feel like I get their point of view of like getting tired of that music, because like it's getting repetitive. Every single person is making reels on that particular song, and like for like example, Sajni, the song, people hate that song because it's been overplayed for them, and that's why they hate on the artist because it's been overplayed by their fans. So here, the artist is just making their music. So yeah.
बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे गाइस, वो लोग पैसा ही कमा रहे हैं ना, उनको वही करना है. तो डजेंट मैटर कि वो सॉन्ग ब्लो अप हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब हो रहा है, वही मैटर है उनके लिए कि वो होना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसी से उनको पैसा मिलेगा. सो एंड ऑल्सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द आर्टिस्ट कि वो कैसे वे में लेता है द नेगेटिव एंगेजमेंट. अगर उनको अपनी इमेज और अपने लाइक प्राइड and that is more important than earning money, because people have ki mera recognition and mera pride and people's opinion about me should be greater than whatever I earn. If they have that in mind, then the negative engagement might be a problem. But if they do not mind that and their sole purpose, or they're out there to earn money and that is their primary purpose, so I think that जो भी ब्लो अप होगा सॉन्ग, इट इज गुड फॉर देम, बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे प्रॉफिट ही तो कमाना है भाई.
जैसे वो नेगेटिव पब्लिसिटी के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, फॉर लाइक आई एम गोना bring back चार दीवारी अगेन.
चार दीवारी, चार दीवारी, चार दीवारी.
एवरेज चार दीवारी फैन मैन.
हाँ, एवरेज क्यों?
Yeah. So what was I saying? Negative publicity ka, he thinks of it as a good thing. If people don't criticize his work, he thinks that whatever is made is trash. So I feel like how people perceive how the blowing up thing is very important, because it will affect how they make the music. Are they going to stick to their own routine, or are they going to make TikTok music?
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
चार दीवारी स्मार्ट गाय, बंदे को कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा है ना, मतलब फर्क इन द सेंस उसको पता है कि ही इज गोना इम्प्रूव एंड ही इज गोना सक्सीड इन हिज म्यूजिक करियर, no matter whatever reaction he's getting. If he's even getting negative engagement, he's still taking it in a positive way and going further. That is like the true, it's like the mantra. Yeah, mantra to get success.
And talking about what kind of music he's making, oh my god, I personally haven't listened to all of his songs, but मैंने जितने भी गाने सुने चार दीवारी के, I kid you not, it was what the industry needed. It is very
Agreed.
fresh. I won't call it desi hip hop in general, but it is desi hyper pop. It is out of this world. मुझे पता नहीं क्या फ्यूचरिस्टिक, क्या ही वो कौन सा पुराना गाना सैम्पल करके उसको फ्यूचरिस्टिक बना रहा है. That is what we needed. It is something fresh, because okay, growing up we have listened to you know Shan when we were listening to romantic songs, and Sonu Nigam when we were feeling sad, and Alka Yagnik and Udit Narayan, but now it's all just Arijit Singh, Arijit Singh. I cannot even feel anymore. मैं कबीरा सुनते सुनते रोमांटिक क्यों मेरे को रोमांटिक सिनारियोज आते हैं. कबीरा इज अ सैड सॉन्ग मेरे को. फिर इट इज लाइक वी डोंट हैव अ we cannot differentiate emotions if the same artists just keep blowing up. That is what makes me mad about the Indian industry.
I am so tired of listening to Kabira 1 and Nadanya 2 and Chulu 3. I'm so fed up.
I
And
really like Chulu.
yeah, I also like it, but I'm just tired. I'm tired of listening. Like I want to take a break and a huge long break from, like, because I'm just done with that song for now, because I've the every other reel I just see and यही audio है उसमें. अरे यार मैं पक गई हूँ, and I've stopped listening to Local Train because of that. Yeah, because नहीं हो
I would
गया
like
वो,
to add one more song.
I was like हो गया है, मैं पक गई इस artist से अब तो.
CO2 by Pratik Kuhad, one more song that people have grown to be tired of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are some people who love to like just casually listen to music, and then there are people who upload videos on YouTube which are like 30-45 minutes long, just deciphering songs. So, where do we stand on that?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, like, I can listen to the music without deciphering it. Please. I mean, for me, the rhythm and the like the tune, if it like catches up to me, if I vibe with it, I really don't care about the lyrics. They can talk shit, and I will vibe to it. So I mean, I get it. You attach emotions and feelings when you decipher the song. You get the deeper meaning of the song. बट नहीं करना है सैड मुझे अपने आप को. थोड़ी देर के लिए हैप्पी टेम्पररी फेज जो चल रहा है चलने देता है.
I also want to talk about how, like, it's important to decipher music because there's so much meaning behind it. So, like, for example, Tum Tak, Kun Faya Kun, they have so much deeper meaning that if we just listen to it, we won't understand it. And they've put so much effort into like putting and the meaning for that particular song, and how it can have a very a connect with us that we are missing out on if we're just casually listening to it. So
I mean, deciphering music is very fun, at least to me, but I also feel like it's okay if sometimes we just listen to it for the sake of it, because then again music is very subjective because it is an art form. People have different preferences and different ways of listening to music. But it's like I hate people who are like, okay, so I listen to rock music as well, I love Nirvana and I have merchandise, so I wear Nirvana t-shirt. Name 3 songs. Okay, Are you challenging me? What if I don't want to name 3 songs? Even if I name 3 songs, what are you gonna do? It's fine. It's a T-shirt. Come on, get over it.
Yeah.
I remember when we were discussing this episode, you told us about Maina by Seedhe Maat. Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, huh. Yeah. So in the Mana song, it's in Nayab, right, by Seedhe Maut. I love that song to death. I can take that song to my grave. I love that song that much. It just talks about hardships of the artist. Okay, they have made albums, their whole discography tells a story, right? Except the Nalla freestyle and everything, but it the discography tells a story, especially Nayab. Um, if you listen to Nayab, like from the beginning to the end, it has a storyline. And Mana is a song which tells us that. So I won't say it's a myth that whenever Mana makes a sound, it's usually considered a good luck. And the lyrics are Mana tu ga diya kar. That means ki Mana, please sing for me. I need that luck. I need that faith because I've lost all hope in life. I just need you to sing for me so that I get, motivated to do shit, to do stuff. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So if people genuinely want to indulge into an artist's music, I will recommend that please decipher the lyrics. If you truly want to, make meaning out of the whole album and get the full experience how the artists intended.
Yeah, I remember after we had this discussion, I heard Maina, and it was such a beautiful song, and I cried. I cried, and उसने बोला ना, मैं बस होने ही वाली थी, मेरे निकलने वाला था आंसू मेरा तो. But the song is it touches your heart and it stays there, and it constantly does that to just make you feel कि it's just I just don't have any words to describe it. And of course there is a need to uh like decipher the song to get the deeper meaning from it. But sometimes when you're in like an emotional state, or sometimes where you're already going through shit in life, through stuff in life, and you want music to be your refuge, you want music to be your solace, so you do not want something that puts you deeper into that hole, puts you deeper. So you want your mood, you go to music because you want to uplift your mood, you want to distract yourself from the hardships going in life. So I just think that if I go ahead and decipher a song at that point, I would just lose my shit, bro. I do not know, एंटी डिप्रेसेंट पिल्स रेडी रखना मेरे लिए, ऐसा हो जाएगा इसके लिए. I just feel that sometimes it is, for me at least, it is very essential that I just listen casually and not go into that thing. Of course I listen to the whole album continuously, but there are phases, मेरे तो बहुत phases है ऐसे आते जाते रहते हैं, when I feel certain stuff and I do according to that.
I'm glad you brought up the topic of like the whole album thing, because I want to talk about this. A lot of people do not listen to the whole album, and I mean I do listen to the whole album, and I just want to talk about this. So like, for example, Yash Raj just released a new album called Meri Jahan Pehle Naach, and I heard the whole album in one sitting, and he has made like the whole album cohesive. So like he has made songs like in a particular way. So like the last 2 songs of the album, um they coincide. So like once the song completes, the second song starts. So I feel like you will not get that, if you don't listen to the whole album. You'll not ever get to experience the continuous thing ever.
Yeah, I get that. I have an example too. Kabul hai. It is such a beautiful album, and I'm going to take this album to my grave. And yeah, but sometimes I just feel that I just want to listen to like some songs, for example, Kinare or Dry Spell, my favorite song from that album. But yeah, just individually, because I have an individual meaning attached to that song, and it is my own personal episodic memory of it. Of course, the artist has his own whole transition and his whole story going on through the whole album. But I just feel that because I'm listening and I'm an individual listening to that particular song, I have a special meaning attached to that song, which like doesn't it the meaning doesn't come out for the other songs in the albums. So I just feel that whenever um listen to that song, um it has a special association for me, and I do not get it. But of course you have to, like, if you want to, if you're so passionate about that artist or the album, it's better to just sit and listen to the whole album, because you'll truly get what the artist wants to say.
uh I agree with you. I also listen to like the songs, like so picking out the songs. For example, जैसे मैं दाएं बाएं सुनती हूँ without listening to the whole album. But for the first listen, I sit down and listen to the whole album because I want to experience how the artist created that particular music and how he wanted us to consume the particular music. I know there are albums which are not cohesive, and there are songs that do not like vibe together. But I feel like if they've particularly said that ये cohesive album है, ऐसे सुनना better होगा तुम लोग के लिए experience, I will listen and sit and listen to it. But I agree with your point. I will pick out the songs and listen to them individually as well.
Because I can't physically sit through Taylor Swift's new album and listen to the whole album in one sitting. Sorry.
I was actually coming to that. The Tortured Poets Department is also a very cohesive album.
But it is so long.
It is really long. It is a cohesive album and it connects to her previous albums as well. So if you haven't been following her music since a very long time, it will be very difficult for you to, take out the references, because there are a lot of references.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, Easter eggs, as you say. And she has made a pattern out of it. She loves doing that.
Yeah.
And her fans enjoy that as well. But if you're not a big Taylor Swift fan and if you just want to listen to, say, one or two songs, you can enjoy her music. But if you really want to, decipher it and get the references, you will have to listen to her previous songs. That's why. And also, there are a lot of artists, especially in India, who just release singles,
Yeah.
like Anuv Jain,
Yeah.
right? And that brings me to Hanuman Kind.
Yeah.
He blew up. He really blew up,
Yeah.
and I'm
We love Hanuman
loving all
Kind.
the hype. But then again, all the internet trolls are like, "What's so good about
He
it?"
sounds American, too American for the Indian this thing.
Yeah, I mean, he is rapping.
I mean, he
In
has an
English.
accent which we get, but he's still,
He's Indian.
yeah. And it's fine if you just sing in an accent
Also,
or like in
yeah,
English.
there's also a controversy that he's. People from the south are saying that no, he's not Indian. He's from Kerala.
Oh,
Let's
that
just
is
not
a
talk
different
about
thing.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't think like people should have a problem with a certain accent,
exactly.
because because of his background. He has
Mhm.
he what doesn't matter, but he's producing such a great song. It's blowing up. He's earning money. He's earning fame, and probably that motivates him to make other better songs.
Yeah,
So what is the problem with
exactly.
guys?
And it's like it's not just blowing up on in India. It's blowing up globally, which is a very good thing. Like it's not very like normal for that to happen. Like there are a lot of songs which show up on my like Hindi songs that show up on my feed that don't show up to people outside of the country. But this is like a song which is by an Indian artist, that too who was up until now an underground artist who's getting global rep now, which is great.
And I also feel like because of that song, like I have seen that. So like I usually watch a lot of reaction channels and everything. So like I have seen them reacting to his previous work as well, which is great because like for example, he has a song with Yash Raj called "That's a Fact," and people do listen to that song because of that, and they start liking Yash Raj ka flow, and that's great. He also gets recognition, and also like similar artists like him also get the recognition. So I feel like
Yeah, like we should be proud for that artist. Like he's doing such a great job. All the nationalistic people, be proud.
Exactly, and also you talked about Hanuman Kind and Yash Raj, which also brings me to the topic of collabs. India and Pakistan might be divided by borders, but I kid you not, if you open the comment section of Coke Studio, that is the most wholesome comment section ever. DHH artists from Pakistan and from India, they're collabing and making magic. What they create is just out of this world. I'm a sucker for that collab. I kid you not. It's just
I agree.
Felony. Who would have
Yeah,
expected?
Felony.
Oh my god. That is the only good example. Oh, I mean, of course, there are a lot of examples for this, but Felony, itne zyada collabs from Pakistan, from India. It's just amazing. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how the really good thing that social media has done to music is that it's diverted our tastes from mainstream music to indie music and a lot of underground music, which is really good. So let's discuss that.
I feel like for the older generation, they have only heard like they don't usually listen to like indie artists because for them, music usually associates with movies. So like for my dad, whatever he listens to is like Kishore Kumar and everyone, like Muhammad Rafi and everyone, and he got to know about them because of some certain films or something, and he does not कैसे बोलते हैं, associate songs other than movies. So like for Hindi, he listens to like mainstream Hindi music. He does not listen to what we listen to probably.
But then that's the thing, right? The artists that you're referencing and the era that you're referencing is early 2000s and before that, when music in movies used to be it actually used to be good, like to it was fun to consume it. Now it's all boiled down to item songs, which which are so monotonous. They sound the same, they have the same beat, and nothing fresh or new comes up, and that's why I feel like that deviation has occurred.
Also, the lyrics.
And also, Preetham should
Questionable.
stop picking out tunes from his older songs to make a new song out of it. Come on, you are a composer. That's your job. Why do you get paid? Come on, please give us something new.
But I think that is where there's a difference between Bollywood and Hollywood, because in like there, like outside, there's a culture where independent artists and indie artists and have grown, and people from the older generation also listen to it because there's no association of songs with movies. And it's like independent songs are like they're put into the movie, or they're put into the movie. And so that is when there's like that is when we have a setback in India, because we've already associated movies with songs, and we've already associated हम लोग यही पूछते हैं, मतलब लाइक व्हेन आई वाज स्मॉल, मैं तो पापा से यही पूछती थी कि पापा ये कौन से मूवी का सॉन्ग है.
And also I feel like the older generation, like for Gen Z at least, we have this tendency to be unique. We want to be different from others. That's why we like dig deeper to find like indie artists, and that's why we want to gatekeep, bringing back to that, because we want to be unique, we want to be different from others. And wo jo that tendency whatever is not means like वो जो कलेक्टिविस्टिक वाला जो था ना वो चला गया है. लाइक वो ओल्डर जनरेशन में ही होता था. अभी दे जस्ट वांट टू बी इंडिविजुअल, अपना देखना है वैसा.
Bringing back the conversation to what Anhat said, I disagree with like the association between music and movies. I don't think it is a bad thing. I think we're using it in a bad way. So essentially, it was a very creative idea to merge music and movies, which is done very well in our movies. पहले की मूवीज देख लो, जो सारे सॉन्ग्स हैं एंड द मोमेंट्स पर देर पुट इट फील्स नेचुरल एंड इट फील्स गुड टू लिसन टू देम. बट नाउ we've built a box for ourselves and we're confining ourselves in it. So we've said कि आइटम सॉन्ग्स हिट जाते हैं तो वो मूवी में होना ही चाहिए, अगर वो नेचुरली फिट हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा.
हाँ, वो नहीं होता, and they put it in the end.
Yeah, I don't think that association is necessary. I think it was a brilliant idea to merge the two fields. I just think we're not making the best out of it.
we
Like,
stopped making the best art.
Chadwari's new song "Love Sex Dhoka."
Was rejected.
Yeah, was
It
rejected.
was supposed to be in LSD Part 2 and it got rejected. But I feel like it would have been so great. I mean, regardless, the song is getting a lot of plays and it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were our industry, like movie industry, is not ready to inculcate.
Experiment.
Yeah.
And also like giving like chance to like independent artists. Just they want to like stick to like Amit Trivedi. They want to stick to Arijit Singh. They just want to stick to the people who work, not
Yeah, I have a really good counter. So, हिंदी मूवीज जो सिनेमा में रिलीज हो रही है, we know that कैसा डाउनफॉल चल रहा है, right? It's like, okay, I can sit through it, but I cannot physically listen to the songs that they're making. But if we talk about Kala, Amit Trivedi has, composed and produced the whole EP. I am a big fan. It is something which we needed. It is, they have, mixed modern music with, what our parents used to listen to, and our parents also enjoy that music. They are ready to accept the whole EP, or else they don't usually listen to independent artists. For example, if I start playing Anuv Jain in my car, my parents are like, shut that off.
yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them, but you know what?
I'm not saying that they're bad necessarily. I'm just saying they're sticking to their comfort
Yeah,
zone.
I do agree.
That's it. I don't think that whatever they're making like is bad
Mhm.
entirely. They have good stuff that they're
Yeah.
putting out. It's just कैसे बोलते हैं? They're not giving chance to people. You know,
हाँ,
that's not fair.
हाँ.
But
I discovered,
yeah, but maybe because everything is a bias and everything has like each one of us has like our own perspective and opinions. So I think that whatever I agree with her, but whatever it is, because she likes that artist and because she wants the artist to succeed and like to go out in
Yeah.
the world and to put out his music everywhere he can. That is also I want to I want to like question one thing you said is that we want to be unique in like we want to be unique and we that is why we gatekeep, and but everyone's doing the same thing
Exactly.
in the in the way that I want to be unique and I gatekeep certain songs, you want to be unique, you gatekeep certain songs, and you make a trend and you follow that trend, so how are you unique?
That's the thing. Like everyone wants to be unique. Everyone's gatekeeping, and that's just yeah. सब वही song सुन रहे हैं.
Being away from the herd, but the herd is, following you. So
Exactly.
it doesn't really make sense. It's just,
Yeah.
feeling validated and all. And talking about not independent artists not getting chance in the music industry, I discovered Pratik Kuhad from Bar Bar Dekho. That was it Kho Gaye Humka, such a beautiful song, right? And I started listening to Pratik Kuhad after that movie, and which brings me to the topic of lockdown. A lot of us discovered new artists, new music in Indian scenario. I never knew that independent artists this good even existed. So there are pros and cons of lockdown, and one amazing positive aspect is that I discovered a lot of new music and lot of new artists. And after lockdown, वो artist का career अच्छा चल रहा है. They have been making music consistently. They are blowing up. Fans are loving it, and that's a good thing.
Okay, so that was our very good discussion on music trends and social media. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please tune in for the next week's episode and let us know what is rolling in your Kala cassette below in the comment section.